Hello there, and welcome to the new series, the new format. Welcome to the inaugural edition of the Happy Mix. I'll explain exactly what that means in just a few moments, but firstly, Happy New Year to all of you. Admittedly, it is a belated Happy New Year, as I imagine I'm probably uploading this towards the tail end of January. But it is wonderful to be with all of you again, to be making videos and to be being creative. It's a huge part of who I am. I've been doing these videos for well over a year now, and it's something that I massively enjoy and something that I certainly get a lot out of doing, and hopefully it maybe puts the occasional smile on the occasional face. But yes, this is a new series and a new format, so without further ado, allow me to explain exactly what that entails. So, why the new format? Well, I got to a point last year with the videos where I was uploading one every kind of 2 or 3 weeks, and each video had its own unique style and theme. And for me as a creator, that was a very experimental season where I got to try out a bunch of different ideas to figure out what worked well, what maybe didn't work so well, and to also get feedback from other people as to what they enjoyed of my content. And it's now brought me to this place where I can implement something that's a bit more structured, that highlights the very best of my creativity and also what you guys seem to enjoy. So the idea behind the new series is it's going to function a bit like the Loot Crate system. Now, with a Loot Crate, every month you get a box in the post that fits a different theme every month. And inside said box you have regular things. You have a t-shirt, a figurine, a poster and a couple of other odds and ends. And I thought that it would be a really good concept to kind of put into vlog format. So every month there's going to be a different theme. This month there isn't a theme just because this is the inaugural edition and it's just to kind of get people into the idea of what the video is going to look like moving forward. But the idea is that there will be segments every episode, and each segment will have, again, its own unique style. And every month, some of the segments will be recurring, some of them will be one-offs as well. So again, it keeps it fresh, and I can kind of tailor the video to fit the monthly theme. But hopefully, the end result will be something that you guys really enjoy, and is something that's a bit more episodic and a bit more structured than it had been before. As for the name The Happy Mix, that stems from one of my fondest childhood memories of me at about age 6 going into town with my mum and going to a shop that some of you might remember called Woolworths. If you remember Woolworths, you are old, so RIP, but you'll also remember that Woolworths was known for having the largest pick and mix selection in the known galaxy. And every time I'd get a go into town, would end up at Woolworths, I would be able to go in and buy my own body weight in what I would call Happy Mix, because pick and mix plus happiness equals Happy Mix. And it's kind of the concept that I want to relay in this video, really. I want all of these videos to be a bit of everything all piled into one bag that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel positive and makes you have that nice smile on your face, like 6-year-old me with his own body weight in calorific goodness. So, without further ado, allow me to introduce the first of the new segments. So, the first new segment that I'm introducing as part of the new format is called Geek Speak. The idea behind Geek Speak is it's kind of a dummy's guide to nerdy merchandise and memorabilia. In my own time, I'm forever recommending things to my friends and family, be it a movie, a series that I've binged, a video game that I love, or indeed any other kind of nerdy merchandise or memorabilia that I've crossed paths with or I've picked up on my travels. Usually the feedback I get from said friends and family is pretty positive, so I thought it would translate really well here as a list feature. Now, every month the vlog's going to kind of have a theme throughout, and I'm going to try and make the things that I recommend through Geek Speak as part of that theme. This month is the exception that proves the rule exists, as it's kind of just the inaugural version of this new vlog series. So I'm going to be recommending 4 things that I received as Christmas presents this year, and hopefully if it's something that maybe doesn't interest you, it might be something that will inspire a gift for somebody else down the line. So without further ado, here is number 1. First up this month is Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy by Square Enix and Eidos Montreal. Guardians is an original story loosely based off the comics and movies of the same name. You play as Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, aka the rarely competent and clueless leader of a ragtag group of adventurers known as the Guardians of the Galaxy. Ragtag is not the adjective I would use to describe this game, however, as it succeeds in telling a heartwarming, hilarious and sometimes heartbreaking story set to what can only be described as an 80s pop-rock space opera. As Peter Quill, you journey into mystery through the more cosmic shaded end of the Marvel Universe, armed with Star-Lord's trademark elemental pistols, as well as a squad of uniquely gifted misfits in Gamora, the ex-daughter of Thanos and current sword for hire, the very literal Drax the Destroyer, Rocket, a definitely not raccoon with the tech gifting of Ratchet & Clank and all the sardonic wit of A Night Live at the Apollo, and of course, everybody's favourite houseplant, Groot. Combat is slick and innovative, while exploration, although a little linear at times, makes good use of your squad's abilities in a Metroidvania platforming style. There are collectibles aplenty with costumes, Easter eggs and more, and to top it all off, there's just a whole lot of heart in this game. There's a lot of dialogue between the Guardians and all of it is brilliantly designed to make you love these characters. There's a real depth to be found here, and a combination of this and the game's soundtrack of 70s and 80s belters, none of which I can play for copyright reasons, had me reaching for this game again and again. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is available on all PlayStation, Xbox, PC and Switch consoles. Sticking with the world of gaming, my second recommendation this month comes in the form of this, the official cookbook for Bethesda's role-playing behemoth, The Elder Scrolls. Perfect as a gift for any of the Skyrim sous chefs in your life, this lexicon of lavish dishes has everything from starters and soups to skeever and sweet rolls. Recipes come with a recommended skill level so that you can gradually grind XP on your journey from pantry boy to kitchen master, with the recipes inspired by all the in-game food from across Tamriel. The official Elder Scrolls cookbook is available from Amazon as well as your local geeky emporium from around £20 and is a worthwhile addition to your skill book collection. Switching gears from baking to building now, my third entry this month couples together two of my favourite nerdy brands of all time, Star Wars and Lego. Now, before you at me in the comments, no, Lego is not just for kids, it clearly says 18 plus on the box, and that is the hill that I will choose to die upon. The Lego in question is the LEGO Ideas Scout Trooper helmet from Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi, and is part of their wider set of helmets including Stormtrooper, Darth Vader and Boba Fett. All sets retail from £35 to £60 and will provide not only a couple of hours of pure entertainment in build time, but also a giddy slice of nostalgia for any office space or indeed nerd cave. The force is most definitely strong with this one. Last, but by no means least, is an anime so brilliantly binge-worthy I managed to watch all 50 episodes during the Christmas break. Set in a not too distant future where the Holy Britannian Empire has conquered and divided the world into numbered states, Kokias follows Lelouch, a schoolboy and former Britannian prince with no love for his royal roots and an intellect that dissociates him from his peers. Lelouch stumbles across the power of Gias, a visual ability that allows him to control and manipulate the mind of another, but only once. The series follows Lelouch on a journey that starts off as an idealistic revolution, but gradually descends into a cerebral chess game where one slip-up could spell chaos for both the planet and the protagonist alike. With a colourful supporting cast, multiple cliffhangers, and more giant mechas than a Michael Bay movie, Code Geass is the perfect popcorn anime for the chilly winter evenings. Code Geass is available for £30 and is rated 15 for violence and mature themes.
Good news, everyone!
So the idea behind this segment is that it should do pretty much what it says on the tin. If you're a bit like me, you'll open a newspaper or you'll turn on the news and then immediately turn it off again because every single headline is some variation of the end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh. I don't really like having that kind of negativity around me. It's important, of course, to be aware of current affairs, but I think that we're all aware that no news sells better than bad news. So I want to kind of present something here which is a little different and a lot more positive and encouraging. So every month what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find a really encouraging, positive story that highlights just the best of humanity, the best of the world we live in, and then I'll present it to you guys and hopefully it will give you that lovely warm feeling in your tum-tum. So without further ado, here is good news, everyone. So a few nights ago, I was sat on the sofa with a cup of tea, falling ever deeper into the endless chasm that is social media, when I came across a story about a man called James Anderson, who is a 52-year-old plumber from Burnley. Usually when you read stories about plumbers and tradespeople online, it's not in a positive context. Usually the phrase "was a bit of a cowboy" or "didn't do the works they were paid to do" is bandied about left, right and centre. But what James and his team have done is actually the complete opposite of that. The story first came to light because of an Instagram post by the daughter of one of James's customers, a lady by the name of Christine Ann Rowland. Now, Christine posted onto her Instagram a picture of an invoice that James had written for her 91-year-old mother. I'm just going to throw that up on screen now and read it out to you. Call out to boiler, high pressure, 2 leaks. Lady is 91 years old, has acute leukemia and is undergoing end-of-life care. No charge for this lady under any circumstances. We will be available 24 hours a day to help keep her as comfortable as possible. Defer CIC. Now, that's a really wonderful thing to read in and of itself. Something piqued my interest at the end of that invoice, which was the phrase "defer CIC." Now, I've worked in admin for a number of years, and I did work for a plumbing company a few years back. Never have I come across the phrase "defer CIC" before, so I stuck it into Google and I had a little look. And it turns out that defer CIC is not some abstract admin term. It is actually the name of a non-profit organisation that is run by James Anderson and his team. The idea behind defer CIC is that James and his team identify vulnerable people in their community, be they elderly, infirm, disabled, what have you, and they cover all of the costs for both plumbing and boiler work for these customers. There's no IOUs, there's no "you have to pay us back when you can afford it." They do this completely off their own backs and off of the excess profits of the company that they run. That is such a wonderful thing to do, and I find it really challenging actually. It makes me question, who in my community could I be helping and could I be reaching out to? Who is it that I've got resource that someone else could benefit from? So I thought that that would be a really worthwhile story, shining a bit of spotlight on, and hopefully it encourages you all as much as it has encouraged me. Eat This is the quote-unquote foodie segment, and the idea behind it is that every month I'm going to try and make something that I've never eaten before. I'm going to put it in my mouth and try and make the decision: do I eat it or do I yeet it? Do I nom it or do I vomit? Now, this month I've decided to partake in a soft version of Veganuary. So a few meals every week I've been replacing the meat food with a plant-based alternative, and thus far I've really enjoyed it. But today I am undertaking a challenge. I'm going to try and replicate one of my favourite guilty pleasure dishes, which is a sausage bagel, which is something that I have every now and again for a little breakfast pick-me-up, usually on those mornings where I don't want to go out to work or to do any of the normal adulting things that I have to do. So without further ado, here is my vegan alternative to the sausage bagel. Right, so to begin with, let's go through the ingredients, starting with Warburton's Sesame Seed Vegan Bagels, which cost £1.45 from the Tesco's over the road. Next up, you better believe it, it's Vitalite Dairy-Free Plant-Based Vegan Spread, which is £1 from Tesco's also. We also have the Linda McCartney Vegan Vegetarian Red Onion and Rosemary Sausages, £1 from Sainsbury's, because I like to go to different places. Corn, spinach and red pepper slices, £1.45, also from Sainsbury's. And of course, a little bit of sauce, sweet chilli sauce, £1.85 from Tesco's, and vegan. So the very handsome man in the tracksuit bottoms is now going to pop in the 3 sausages into the oven for 15 minutes at 180 degrees fan assisted, and there they will stay until they are ready. Now, because I'm a lazy human who cannot be dealing with sharp knives and round bread, I decided to take the coward's way out, and I bought the pre-sliced Warburton's Sesame Seed Bagels, and as you can see there, they open up very nicely if you don't manhandle them like I do, because I am a massive oaf. There's a nice thick application of the Vitalite spread, because we do like the bagels buttery and creamy. And on the top half of the bagels, I'm going to apply not 1, but 2 lovely slices of the corn, spinach and red pepper slices. to get a full kind of full taste of the flavour and to give it that extra little bit of spice. And because I'm using a very sharp knife, taking extra care to make sure that my fingers don't become part of the bagel, slicing the sausages right down the middle so that in just a moment they will rest very, very nicely on the floor of the bagel. As you can see there, that's 3 sausages over 2 bagels, going completely overboard. And now to add my favourite final touch, give it a good shake, and there is some sweet chilli goodness all over the bagel to give it a little bit of extra spice. Okay, and there we go. Here is the finished product, and it does look really, really good. I've got my favourite vegan tipple with me just in case, because water, can't go wrong really. That is my faith in my ability to make a tasty bagel. I have water on standby. So without further ado, let's give this a big old bite. Okay, that's really nice. The sausage does exactly what it says. It's got that really nice sweet red onion and rosemary kind of taste, and that blends really well with the sweet chili sauce. The thing that surprises me is the butter. It tastes exactly like regular butter, which I'm a huge fan of. Butter is nice, makes everything lovely. The slice on top is really nice as well, the spinach and the pepper. It's got the same kind of texture and consistency as like ham would, but it's got a really, again, rich flavour. Not overpowering, it's just really, really good. Overall, this is really good. Like, I would definitely... I can't actually tell the difference with the sausage between a meat sausage and the Linda McCartney sausage, which says a lot, really. I would definitely have this in a coffee shop with breakfast, and I wouldn't bat an eyelid at all. I would order this again most happily. So it's getting a 9 out of 10 for certain. Really, really good. Like, yeah, really inoffensive, can't complain, very tasty. And there we go, guys. That is the first episode of the Happy Mix in the bag. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly had an absolute blast making it. It was a lot of fun coming up with these new ideas, these new segments and sections. As always, if you enjoy the content that I put out, please drop me a like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell to be alerted for whenever I drop another video. Next month there is a theme. We are entering the world of romance. But don't worry, we're not getting super mushy. Wait and see, there's going to be some good surprises and a lot of fun to be had. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, love you, bye.